Well, we're always looking to be balanced, but we got some running backs that have good experience and that can do a number of things, running game and passing game. So a lot of it's personnel, and I think we'll use those guys in different roles. But you know, with a new quarterback, you know, you don't want to put everything on his shoulder. You want to surround him with people that are going to help him out and through such tough situations. So we'll continue to run the ball, and then you know, we always have a good passing attack and do a number of things. But balance is going to be key with the emphasis of getting the ball to our players and playmakers, and a lot of them are those running backs. So we'll find ways to get them the ball. It has to really get into more of a game type of tempo and what's expected in games and getting the most out of practice, so the carryovers, smoother transition for those guys. It's not just getting through a practice and hoping to show up for a game. You got to work through some kinks and get quality reps and so forth. These guys, they have made plays in games. Some of the other guys have not, so they could tell them this is what you need to work on, and they've coached up some of the other guys. Leadership has always been pretty good. Their work ethic, they come to practice and work hard. I think you got to look for a guy that could play #1 position, outside position, not a slot guy, because we deal with tight ends, running backs at those positions. You could always kind of interchange. But a guy that could play outside as a #1 receiver, play on the line of scrimmage, get off the ball in press coverage, vertical game, you always look for that. It's like golf clubs, you know, we got this guy's only good at this, that, but vertical game, and then second level speed and be able to track a ball down the field. I think those are important. Get off the line of scrimmage, track a deep ball, and then work ethic. I mean, those guys run a lot. I mean, they got to be able to, be physically conditioned to handle the workload. But we're an older group, believe it or not. We've got guys that have been around, like a Marshall Dill, Terran Conyers. Then you got Ryan Moody, who had flashed last year before he got hurt early. We moved the running back, Ryan Wolfhook, to that position, and he's got a lot of ability. He's learning it, and he's contributing pretty well at that #1 receiver spot either way. And then C.J. Thomas is in the hunt too from last spring, coming off last spring, that he was probably as good as anybody coming out of spring in terms of moving his level up. And then the other thing we did was we moved DJ Mangus. You know, you want to pare it down to where you're not trying to get 4 guys to compete. So you keep chipping away at it, get 1 and 2, get a number of reps for those guys, different looks. And then in scrimmages like we do, Coach Laycock gets them into different situations, see how they react. Not always an easy, comfortable, get them out of their comfort zone, and then dig out some of the stuff that you go, okay, next time this happens, this is how you need to react and stuff like that. Young receivers, I mean, I think it's more getting these guys to where they're not, the guys that I have, the 8 or whatever, to where they're not just spot kind of guys, role guys. We got to get more out of them to where if build depth, and if #1 and #2 are not incapable of standing to play, these guys got to step in and play. So I still got to get the most out of that group, even though they're older, but they're still young in terms of getting in and doing it, come game day. Some of the young freshmen have shown a lot of talent, but there's just the number thing, you limited reps, but they have shown some potential. But it's really a younger guy, say, to come in there more than just moving a guy from another position. Basically, that's a younger guy, just experience-wise. Well, it's working with, quality student athletes. I mean, these guys, their priorities are set pretty well. You always, my first meeting is don't be a ball and chain to me, to where I got to drag you to class and deal with a lot of issues. When you come in, put in your time for football. I know there's other things that pull your energies. William Mary, the whole tradition thing of, the history of football and the guys that have come through here, it still carries over, and teaching these guys what it took to get to this level. Try football, expect excellence.